This is a second video for lecture 6. We've covered a series of government failures in terms of efficiency in the previous video. So we'll start to see serious government failures from social equity perspectives. First, government provision will be more equitable than private providers because private providers will seek profits. Let's assume that government and private companies provide the same service, such as education. When private institutions provide education, they should seek profits to survive in the market. On the other hand, government provision has disjunction between cost and revenue. So in terms of equity, they can provide education for low-income people. Second, taxation and subsidy will be equitable when government seeks minimum standards of consumption. If a government subsidizes a commodity for poor people, it can make a great contribution to equality of consumption. On the other hand, it might decrease incentive of poor people to raise their living standard by themselves. Third, government regulation will be equitable when government seeks redistribution of income, such as minimum wages or rental controls for too expensive rental fees. However, as I explained in the previous video, if government decide regulation based on imperfect information about market situation, then intervention just distort market mechanism. This is the last slide for general government failure series. After this lecture 6, we'll cover more specific series of government failures for budgeting, organizational behavior, contracting out, or local governance. So from the next slide, I'll provide a kind of preparation for these specific series of government failures. Public choice theory is application of neoclassic economic theory to the public sector. So this course's title, Economic Issues in Public Administration, almost means public choice theory. Actually, we've covered fundamental notions of classic and neoclassic economics to run public choice theory. Application of neoclassic economic theory mainly means application of its basic assumptions to the public sector. The average individual is self-interested and utility maximizer, and then individuals rather than organizations make decisions. Advocates of public choice theory have been very influential not only academia but also practical world. Also, the innovation of public choice theory divided traditional public administration into two different schools, public administration and public policy. Public administration comes mainly from political science, while public policy comes from economics. Some traditional public administration schools, including Harvard University, changed their name from public administration to public policy schools. This means that they rely more on application of economics to the public sector, public choice theory. Rutgers University in New York is doing traditional public administration. That's the reason why this school has only one economic course, this one. On the other hand, if you go to public policy schools, the most courses are about economics and public choice theory. So let's see more details of application of neoclassic economic assumptions to the public sector. The first applied assumption is bureaucrats are utility maximizers. In the context of public sector, public choice theorists seek specifically what kind of utility bureaucrats try to maximize. There are many and various theories to explain what bureaucrats' utility is. We'll cover details in lecture 7. The second main assumption of public choice theory is Bureaucracy enjoys an information advantage over its supposed political masters. I'll give you a general explanation. In public policy or program implementation, politicians cannot know details because they don't have much time to monitor all of them. Because of that, bureaucrats tend to have information advantage about the implementation over politicians. By utilizing such information advantage, bureaucrats can maximize their utility. We'll see more details about this assumption in the following lectures. Public choice theory mainly explains government provision and taxation and subsidy. So here we'll see application of neoclassic economic theory, especially to regulation. I believe you read this article, so I'll just give you a summary. First, political system is rationally designed to realize desires of members in society. This means that political system tries to minimize cost and maximize preference of members in a society. To minimize the cost of hearing all the voices in a society, state has a power of coercion to tax, to regulate and altering households' economic activities without their consent. Self-interested industries might try to use that state power to increase their profits. Because if the rules are designed to maximize their profits, their business can get much more gains from regulation. So a big industry or industry groups try to affect politics to design regulations for their benefits. These industries can affect politics because politicians' utility is re-election. So for industry groups, lobby activity is a main tool to affect politicians. This theory of regulatory capture also identifies what kind of interest groups or industry group can affect regulations. The theory suggests that small numbers plus concentration of benefits in a group can help the group to affect regulations, because if the group has various members and various perspectives, they cannot converge their desires into specific policy, so politicians cannot reflect many things on the regulations. As a consequence, compared to individual taxpayers and other large groups whose costs or benefits are dispersed, such a small and concentrated group can successfully affect a regulation to increase their benefits through lobby activities. In other words, groups of big industries rather than groups of small individuals can successfully affect regulations to increase their profits. Finally, the regulation affected by big industries will lead to issue with regulatory capture. Many people criticize bureaucrats for too many and unfair regulations. However, regulations are already set for big industries or groups. So bureaucrats are captured by such regulations for big industry groups. In other words, under such regulations, bureaucrats are designed to promote such big industries' interest from the outset. Despite maybe bureaucrats' intention to serve for public interest or social equity, they are enforced to serve for interest of big industries. That's the issue of regulatory capture. This theory will be used to explain contracting out and privatization. So before going to lecture 9 and 10 for privatization and contracting out, please fully understand this theory. This is the end of lecture 6. We've covered general theory of government failures, Also, I just provided general perspective for public choice theory and regulatory capture. And we'll see detailed, more applied public choice theory in the following lectures. Thank you for listening.